have to give it to you. You've trained really hard. It's now time to go do your race, okay? Or you're still training and you've got a very fast workout ahead of you. What shoe should you use? That's what I want to help you with. These are the best 9 shoes I have used. There's a very key thing there that I have used, that I have. So I'm going to order these from 9 to the best one. Also, there are plenty of other reviewers that have given you their top race day shoes, and that's because that's them. So for example, there is a list that will tell you the Alpha Fly 3 is number 1. Well, I don't have that shoe. Other shoes that I've seen, the Metaspeed Sky, I have that shoe, but spoiler alert, it's not number 1 to me because of the kind of running I do, my build, and where I am in my running journey. So keep that in mind. We're gonna start here. Bang. This is Mizuno's Wave Rebellion Pro. This is the beta version. The 3 is now out with a stack height of 61 at the back, 57 at the front, a 4mm drop. It then has a price of £210, and amazingly with that stack height, the weight is 238 grams. Now that, to me, is somewhat respectable considering what's in this shoe, the weight. Ryan from Believe in a Run, who came with me to Amsterdam, managed his marathon PB in the shoe. So it works for some. It's just that for my kind of running, where I am in my journey, I find this to be too aggressive of a shoe. And therefore, of all of my race day shoes, this is probably the one that suits my kind of running the least. But I have to tell you, this shoe is not one to kind of be joked about. This is a serious performance shoe. And I have to tell you, out of all the shoes I'm going to show you, this is the best outsole that I have seen all across it. Packed with Mizuno's performance midsole. This is that Mizuno NZ XP. You're going to see that over there. I actually love what they're doing with their prototypes or their beta versions or their secret shoes with this zebra kind of colorway. They will change the colorway when the shoe officially comes out. Anyway, that's my number 9. Love it. Let's talk about 8. On Running's Cloud Boom Light Spray. The guys were kind enough to send this to me and truly appreciate it. Now, this is one of the lightest shoes that I own. At 190 grams in a 9.5 UK, this kind of spooked me a little bit. Anyway, the stack height, 40 at the back, 36 at the front, being a 4mm drop. The price, though, is what's probably going to steer a lot of people away from the shoe, £330. So why is it number 8 as opposed to higher up on the list? I think that's the midsole. So I love the story of the upper. Helen Obiri has won marathons, and I think she came second in New York with this shoe. I actually had the pleasure of meeting her in the morning at that. Just had to throw it in there. But I think the midsole of the shoe doesn't necessarily compete with the other shoes that I've got in my list. Just being honest with you. The upper, creating this upper in 3 minutes, the innovation, what it does for the environment in terms of minimizing waste, simple. It can't be beaten. But in terms of its performance, I love this outsole. This outsole works. It's excellent. I love the midsole itself, but I feel like the shoes that I've got in this list outperform this midsole. But honestly speaking, aesthetically, this is one of the best that I own. I wear this even when I'm not running. I must say though, I noticed some of the paint chipping away a little bit. Not seriously impacting, to be honest. It's not going to impact the shoe, but I was hoping that that would stay on a bit longer. But I think that's something that On will have to address in either newer versions of these shoes or as they do a different implementation of the spray-on technology. Okay, so that is number 8. And then in number 7, bang. Okay, so Puma's Fast R2. Now, Puma is going to make an appearance again in my list, which will explain why this is higher up at number 7. Anyway, let's talk about the stack height. 40 at the back, 32 at the front. And in terms of the price, it comes in at £230. So it's in the middle of the whole list that I've got over here. And in terms of the weight, 270 grams. But let me tell you about the key features of this shoe and why you might like it. Number one, let's start with this heel tab. It's one of the very few of my race day shoes that have got a heel tab, and I like it for that. With it being almost like a booty construction, you need that to get that shoe on. And you're going to see the same on the tongue too. I love the quirk, the decoupled midsole with the exposed carbon plate over there. the one thing they've introduced that's very new is this ultra weave upper. Highly breathable, but also equally resilient. The one thing that I sort of have reservations about, I'm not too sure, is this sticking out bit here. You're going to see that it almost looked like it's sticking its tongue out at you. I wasn't too sure about that. But in terms of performance, this is definitely aggressive. I love the first version. Had a slight mishap with that one, but what they've done in the second version, I absolutely love. So that's number 7. Anyway. Number 6. So if you told me Diadora would be number 6 on my list ahead of the shoes that I've mentioned, I would have laughed at you. But this shoe here, the Diadora Gara Carbon, is no joke. This is one of the best running shoes I have used in 2024. Not just for race day kind of pace, but even, I'll be honest with you, I've even taken it on Zone 2 just because of how it feels. I just love the feel of it. Diadora didn't mess around. Anyway, let's talk about the specs. 39 millimeters at the back, 34 at the front. The one thing that it's got going against it, I guess, is the price. 240 pounds. It's up there. In terms of the weight, highly respectable at 230 grams. This here matrix. Now, this matrix is a proprietary name. I don't care for proprietary names because it doesn't really mean anything. What you need to know is it's a high quality, high caliber kind of upper. And you can see how breathable that is. Highly breathable. It is strongly resilient. Now, in the Diadora lineup, they've got different type of compositions for their midsole. This is that Anima PBX. This is their premium foam. It's PBA based all the way across. And I'm telling you, the way they've configured it, it can't be matched. It feels great. Carbon plated race day shoe. The carbon plate is actually exposed in the underneath and you can feel and hear that. One thing I like too, the laces. Now, if you're going to do a race day shoe, please guys, listen to me. These are the laces you should implement. These ribbed ones with the teeth, those bad boys are not coming off. So good that Diadora, when they send you this shoe, they send a spare set of laces to kind of accompany these. I've taken that spare set and I always put it on other race day shoes too. So that is my number 6. Number 5, bang. This, sorry about the shape. You know what? It looks like this. It looks like this. Saucony's Endorphin Pro 4. Let's talk about the stats first. So 40 at the back, 32 at the front, giving you an 8 mil drop. In terms of price, it's 230 pounds. Now, before I tell you the weight, let me caveat that when Alex gave me the shoes, he gave me different laces with it, which I actually love. I love these laces. Maybe that also influences the weight that I'm about to tell you. But in my 9.5 UK, it weighed in at 251 grams. Additional to the things I opened up with, let's talk about the tongue. Fully attached, so it's a boutique construction. And I like that. The other bit that I like is this upper, fully breathable, and you can see right through this shoe, all the way to the other side is how breathable it is. The construction of this midsole with this Power Run PB, I'm telling you, it's what makes this shoe what it is in its versatility. A lot of the other shoes, like I said, are very aggressive, whereas this, probably the most versatile race day shoe that I've got on my entire list. Number 4, let's just get the negatives out of the way. It's 260 pounds. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But if you can push it, you won't regret it. Other thing I have to warn you about, I'll tell you about the shoe, is it comes up a bit short. I wear a 9.5 UK. I should be in a 10 or a 10.5 in this shoe. That's the only downsides of this shoe. Those two things, the price and the fact that it comes up a little short. But it's number 4. So let's talk about the facts of here. So 40 millimeters at the back, 36 at the front, giving you that 4 mil drop. In terms of price, I talked about that, 260, and it weighs in at 245 grams, which is respectable. What do I like about it? They've reconfigured the upper. Now, this Phantom Fit, I really like. It gives you a very good lockdown for race day shoes. I ran the big half marathon in this shoe, and I enjoyed it. The one thing that I didn't like about it is the fact that it comes up a bit short. When you run your 5K, 10K, that's fine. But when you start stretching your runs to a half marathon, full marathon, that's a different conversation because your feet will swell up. So for this shoe, if you're considering it, please do go half a size or full size up, depending on the shape of your foot. In 2024, New Balance changed a lot of things and they nailed it. What they've done with the fuel cell midsoles, they've nailed it. I had the privilege of going to New York Marathon, and New Balance took us to go see the next versions of their shoes coming out next year. So the Rebel, the SC Trainer, even this shoe. I have to tell you, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming from New Balance. But for now, for number 4, it has to be SC Elite V4. Right. Now, I know some people will want to come at me in the comments saying, Aubrey, what the heck are you thinking? So-and-so has said this shoe is number 1. Even that guy over there. And that's them. This shoe is wizardry. I get it. What they've done. Wait, let's just talk about it. A6 Metaspeed Sky Paris. In terms of stack height, you go 40 millimeters at the back, 35 at the front. That is going to be key. I'll talk about it in a second. In terms of the price, 220 pounds. That is amazing. What's even more amazing, that this shoe came in at 194 grams. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Honestly, amazing. Let's talk about the key features before I talk about why it's number 3 as opposed to 2 or 1, right? The first thing I will say, the laces. I love this lacing system. I told you about it, ribbed. The upper. Now, this is key, man. What they've done to make this as breathable as it is in terms of the upper, it's amazing. It's light, it's breathable, but that doesn't compromise on its resilience. I like that. Now, why is it number 3, Aubrey? I'll tell you the truth. It's the midsole. I think this shoe is for that person that can maintain their form all the way through whatever run you're doing. Running 10K in this shoe, I think I can manage it. I can just about manage it. I couldn't do a half marathon and get all the benefits of this shoe that ASICS intended throughout because my form breaks down. I think this is the kind of shoe that will serve you perfectly. If you can maintain your form, if you can keep it going throughout whatever distance you're doing, I just find it that it's actually very aggressive. Secondly, the other 2 shoes that I would tell you about give me what I'm looking for in a race day shoe more than this one, and that is cushioning. But it's not as plush as the other ones. This is highly tuned for performance, and I love it for that. So if you're the type of runner kicking out this fast paces, this will be the kind of shoe that you want. Number 2 is Hoka's Cielo X1. Let's talk facts first. Let's talk about the numbers. 39 millimeters at the back, though I really don't get it because that looks way higher than 39, and 32 at the front, giving you a 7 millimeter drop. The downside of why it's not number 1 is this price point, 275. The fact it's matched by the weight, 275 grams as well. So the price and the weight in comparison to the number 1 shoe of 2024 when it comes to race day shoes, those will be the reasons why. But in terms of performance, I recently set my half marathon personal best in this shoe. The cushioning and the balance of that and the propulsion, this shoe, to me, is up there. Now, there was a lot of grumblings about the lacing system. This is like a Cielo X1.5 because they updated the laces and took out the annoying ones. So ProDirect sent me these shoes and they sent me a version that had different laces. Maybe some guy in the factory were tweaked with them. I don't know. But all I know is it's not the same laces as they launched with. I love the carbon plate. I love the design of this outsole. You can see that it's kind of semi-decoupled. Anyway, there's a trench over there. And also, you get to see the carbon plate in 3 different places. Here, towards the toe area, in the middle, and then at the back, you get to see that. I just love the design of this shoe. In terms of its performance too, it's a very fun ride, but it doesn't compromise on that performance. Man set a half marathon PB in it. Come on. Number 1. No brainer here. No brainer. Absolutely none. Puma's Deviate Nitro Elite 3. Guys, can you work on shorter names? I'm having to memorize stats. I don't need to also start memorizing the whole name of a shoe. Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3 is my number 1 shoe. Reasons are, the first 2 reasons we can't argue about. For a race day shoe with premium features to be priced at £195, that's a joke. £195. Some brands, daily trainers are priced at that. To have a premium all day amazing shoe at £195, that's just amazing. The weight, 215. Now, there are two shoes that came close to that weight. Metaspeed Sky Paris, absolutely, but that's 220. On Running's Light Spray, absolutely, but that's 330. To give you the features I'm about to tell you at £195, it's easy to recommend this shoe to people that watch my videos. If you're looking for a race day shoe, this is going to be that. And those are my first two reasons. Reason number 3, it's a shoe. I know that sounds dumb to say, but it doesn't have all this whizzy and it doesn't push you to be aggressive. You can run literally all of your zones, zone 2, 3, 4, 5 in this shoe. Race day PB, giving it everything you've got in this shoe. Simple as that. On the school run to go pick up the little guy, letting all the parents over there know that man's also a runner. This is it. The missus tell you, hey, we've run out of eggs and nappies. You're going to Tesco in this shoe. That's what I like about it. Anyway, let's talk about the key features. 40 at the back, 32 at the front, giving you that 8mm drop, and I love it for that. The upper is Puma's recent high tech. It's that ultra weave. I love that. Aesthetically too, I do love this exaggerated nitro on the side. I love that. Let's talk about the tongue. Here, the only downside, only one. Puma, next time you do this, gusset the thing. The tongue is not attached. It's loose in there. I'm not too fussed about it, to be honest, because everything else is just made up for it. It's got that power plate, carbon plate runs in there, and of course, fitted with Puma grip. Puma grip, simply never miss it. What shoe will I recommend that you try for your race day shoes, fast workouts? I tell you what, even if you were to just have one shoe, I get it. Some people don't want to recommend having that one shoe being a carbon plated shoe, but I gotta tell you, man, this is it. Anyway, thank you for checking me out again. Appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one.